Welcome to the Roy Morgan Weekly Update. The economic backdrop is harsher than the headline numbers suggest, and the people know it, with real unemployment at 10.5% of the workforce and mortgage stress at 26.8% of mortgage holders. And businesses know it. In possibly the most important indicator of all, business confidence for April plunged 14.2 points to a record low of 76.5. This is zero point 0.4 points below the previous record low of 76.9, reached in April 2020 at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Next, consumer confidence, interviewed before today's Reserve Bank meeting, at which the bank decided to raise interest rates for a third straight meeting, as widely predicted by many market watchers. ANZ Roy Morgan consumer confidence was down slightly by 0.6 points to 67.2 this week. Remember, 100 is the baseline where equal numbers of people are optimists and pessimists. So 67.2 means pessimism is clearly outweighing optimism among consumers. Driving the decline were more worries about the long-term state of the economy and fewer Australians saying now is a good time to buy major household items. In fact, that was down 2% to only 15%. There was a slight increase to inflation expectations. ANZ Roy Morgan inflation expectations increased 0.1% to 6.7%. This means Australians expect annual inflation of 6.7% in each of the next 2 years. Again, the people are feeling more concerned about inflation than the official figures record, with or without the short-term impact of petrol prices. Despite this, Roy Morgan government confidence improved. Now, 26.5% of electors believe the country is going in the right direction. That's up 1%. But a majority, 59%, still say the country's going in the wrong direction. Overall, Roy Morgan government confidence rating was up 2.5 points to 67.5, still more than 30 points below the neutral level of 100. The Roy Morgan poll shows the ALP maintaining their lead and the coalition now moving ahead of One Nation for support. ALP primary support was 29.5%. LNP coalition was up 1.5% to 24%. The Liberals were up 2% to 21% and Nationals on 3%, with One Nation down 1% to 21.5%. The Greens were 13% and Independents and other parties on 12%. The federal two-party preferred result was unchanged this week, with the ALP on 54.5%, ahead of the coalition 45.5%, based on how electors said they would vote. This is not surprising, given coalition support increased at the expense of One Nation. That is, the movement in primary vote was within the Conservative side of politics. If a federal election were held now, the ALP would be returned to government with a large majority, according to interviewing conducted from April 27 to May 3rd, with a representative Australian-wide cross-section of 1,681 electors. And back to business confidence. Roy Morgan's business confidence has now fallen by a combined 28.5 points this year, after ending 2025 at a positive rating of 105. The biggest driver of the fall was a loss of confidence about the Australian economy's performance. Now 61.3% of businesses expect bad times for the economy over the next year. That's up 13.5% on a month ago. In addition, only 37.2% of businesses expect good times for the economy over the next year, and that's down 13.2%. This is a negative movement of 26.7% for this question in April. Since December, the question has had a negative movement of 40.3%, the largest decline of any question. Business views on the Australian economy's performance over the long term are now at record lows. Now, 73.4% of businesses expect bad times for the economy over the next 5 years. That's up 7% on just a month ago. Only 18.7% expect good times. That's down 8.5%, and a record low for this question. Clearly, businesses are concerned about the current economic situation facing Australia, with Treasurer Jim Chalmers set to deliver an important federal budget next week. This Roy Morgan Business Confidence series is based on interviews with 1,000 businesses each month to gauge their views on their company's prospects, as well as their assessment of the broader Australian economy. And finally today, just some more positive news. Roy Morgan's annual Customer Satisfaction Awards were awarded at a gala ceremony last week. These awards bring together more than 400 of Australia's most well-known companies to reward 37 that deliver continuously on their social contract with every customer. Some of the more noteworthy winners include NAB, Bunnings, Chemist Warehouse, Grilled, Subway, Rebel Sport, Maya, JB Hi-Fi, The Reject Shop, Aussie Broadband, Red Energy, Subaru, Coles Mobile, and Singapore Airlines. And for the first time, car manufacturer Volvo not only won its individual category as the Car Manufacturer of the Year, but also carried out the overall Best of the Best award for the company or brand delivering the highest level of customer satisfaction of any during 2025. Congratulations to Volvo and all 37 winners. And be sure to visit the Roy Morgan website to learn more about the companies and brands that are delivering market-leading customer satisfaction to Australians. Looking forward to next week, I'll be back to bring you the latest data for unemployment, consumer confidence, inflation expectations, and the latest voting intention. Thanks for listening.